So this guy is finished. Finally, I'm quite happy with the final results. It's very much me, you know, the way it looks, all of the different layers. It's a very complicated handle for a fixed blade in the sense that it has layers and layers and layers. So the obvious thing is that it is a stacked handle, but on top of that stacked handle, then this is what I've done. So transparent epoxy, 2-part epoxy, mixed with all kinds of G10 and micarta. When I need to drill holes in these chunks of micarta to slide them on in the middle, I drill holes, right, for the tang. So those filings or shaving, and sometimes even when I use higher grit files to shape the handles, that dust also I kind of scrape up and save. Then I can mix it with epoxy and get this type of results. That is brass from here and here. When I file brass, also those shavings I save. So that's like gold dust in there afterwards. And it comes out to an interesting design. This is the first time I did it here. I've been experimenting. These are also the same shavings from G10 and micarta materials that I work on. I save those, then I mix it with epoxy, and you get this kind of results. So quite interesting. Now, because it takes me a rather long time to finalize the knife, there are parts of the build that I miss on the video, so I apologize, such as doing this. One complicated thing here was I had a lot of space to fill on the bottom section of the handle, so I could use a thicker layer of epoxy. But up here, this is also all covered up to the brass. This is all covered with at least 1 millimeter of epoxy. And I just had to brush epoxy on it several times and then keep rotating this as it dried. You know, not that this fast, but because otherwise if you lay it like this, a drop will form on the bottom, and then you turn it over and then another drop will form here, etc. So several layers of epoxy needed to be applied here, and then of course sanding in between layers so that it adheres well, etc, etc. Anyway, long story short, there's a lot of my character in this blade. It's a Puronvarsi, it's a Puukko Hunter, but I have finished the blade, changed the grind, the cutting edge, and then obviously done my own handle and sheath. Very sturdy in the hand, whether with a glove or without, because of the contours that I've done to the knife. Here's the sheath. Again, I like to put some glow-in-the-dark powder on my sheaths. Very good retention, no rattle, absolutely no rattle. Nice thumb rem to get the knife out. Usual lock that I do, and I try to keep the shape of the sheath minimalistic as well as the number of holes. I don't like excessive number of holes. You'll see that on my small sheaths as well as my large sheaths. Check this out, only 2 holes, and trust me, it just doesn't need more. Plus this is a thicker kydex, but it doesn't need more. It does the lock very well and serves all the functions as a drain hole, but I think it looks more elegant than a bunch of holes, even though sometimes I will do something like that, you know, and that is for additional latching points. Because it is a large knife. Anyway, that's not the knife we're discussing here. So this is finished. Now I do always have a step here so that you can grab with 2 or 3 fingers the butt section of the blade. I always do that, and then push off so that you can get the knife out. Now it's locked. You can get the knife out with one single hand. Actually it shoots off, yeah. And same here, you get that step. It thickens very fast. So it's going to be a very tough, hard use knife, but at the same time it can do finer work. It can do feathers. It can shave, as you can see. You can go thin or thick, and I have sharpened this on the Ken onion, so it is now a Scandi Vex. It's a convex cutting edge with a Scandi, or I guess you could now call this a saber grind convex, whatever. It does the thin paper very well, as you can see. Another gem for the collection. I love the colors as well. Okay, there's more cool stuff to come. Thank you very much for watching. Please make sure that you subscribe for more content, and stay healthy, and cheers.